everyone, welcome back to another scrapbook layout video, and thank you for joining me again today. I am going to be using this baby collection, and I'm not sure if this video or the other video that I did with the double page for the baby hop will go up first, but either way, it doesn't matter. You guys know me, it's DoodleBug, so of course I love it. I have two photos of my son when he was a baby, and I'm following a sketch by Scrapbook Generation, just like normal. I'm trying to figure out what papers I want to line up where. So I decided I really like this pattern one, which is the main reason I bought this pattern, because it has all sorts of, baby icons on it. So I was trying to figure out how to cut it because one side is like 9 inches and the other side is 9.5 or something like that. And then I looked closer at the sketch and realized that there was actually another layer behind that, which means I cut that first paper wrong. But I was glad that I saw that because I feel like this little frame really adds a lot to the layout. So you can see I went ahead and I pulled out my petite prints, and again, I'm going to give a shout out to the petite prints because they will coordinate with anything DoodleBug. Any line collection that you have even from 2012, these DoodleBug petite prints will match it. So this is a great example of when those come in really handy, because if I were to use one of the pattern papers to frame, these other two papers, I would be losing out on some paper. Although I am going to get it, I did decide I wanted to get it here because why not? I'll be able to get more use out of that frame. I don't think I inked any of the edges on this layout. If I would have inked the edges, I would have picked probably my gray close to my heart ink, so it would be really, subtle and not super dark. So my original thought with using this petite print was to use this lighter side that you can see me gluing the tape on, but when I flipped it over, even though the other side is real florally, I kind of liked the darker contrast of it. So I went ahead and decided to use the darker side. And first of all, it doesn't bother me to use flowers on a boy layout or even a boy baby layout. Second of all, you don't really even see enough of it to really even know. So I used my little trick of putting Scrappy tape down on all 4 sides, and then once I get it where I want it, I push it down and then pull up the backing from the other strips. That is so handy. I really like that. I'm going to go ahead and, excuse my head there, I think I need to move my camera. I think my camera, I don't know, stuff got moved around, I guess, so I need to kind of adjust where things are. But I start to glue down these papers that go over it, and I just chose 2 colors. There was a striped, 1/4-inch strip like Scrapbook Generation almost always has. And so first here I lost the strip, so you can see me, I'm kind of looking for it. I'm like, seriously, my desk wasn't even that messy. So I had to pause the video and come back after searching around for it. So after I found it, I glue it down, and then I'm going to glue down this bigger piece. Well, you're going to see me glue it down here, and you can tell on the far right side it's really off. So I decided, I contemplated leaving it, and I think if you left it, it would have been totally fine, but I didn't like it. So I ripped up everything. Luckily everything, even though it kind of ripped a little bit here and there, it still was intact enough to reuse. So like I didn't have to cut a new one of these stripe strips at all. And that to me looks a lot better because you can tell the difference between the way it looked before and the way it looked now. I don't think I would have been happy leaving it. So I'm going to add just 1 single strip of these glitter peel-offs. I don't think she has a name. I can't give you a name for each one. There's a number on each one, but I don't really know the names. She doesn't have like hot pink or magenta or names like that where I can say, but this is just one of her, like I call them white glitter or something like that. So most of it does get covered up in the end, but I don't really mind that either. So it's there and it's cute. Now I'm putting down my photos, and the sketch called for 2 horizontal 4x6. And I had 2 pictures, which you can see, probably I had duplicates because, I printed these such a long time ago. But I had one horizontal, one vertical, so I made one of them into a 4x4. And the whole time I was looking at the sketch, I was thinking, no problem, because I know I have these cut apart journal strips and I could just use one of these. My first thought and I thought for sure I was going to use this one, so I'm going to go ahead and trim it down. I thought I would use the yellow one because it brings the yellow from the left-hand side over. But I looked at it and I didn't like it. I don't like it there. It's just too yellow. I feel like the yellow is just, it grabs most of your attention from the entire page. So I didn't want to cut apart another one of these journaling boxes, not knowing which one I was going to use. So I'm really going to struggle a lot with this area, and you're going to see me. I leave in a lot of this process so you can see me really struggling. I pulled up the photo and tucked that 3x4 card down underneath it temporarily, so the photo's kind of gently sticking up a little bit right now so that I can play around with that journaling card in that area. And then I thought maybe covering up, part of it, covering up that little icon that was there. Then I decide maybe not have a journaling card there. I don't really have to do much journaling. They're just baby photos, cute baby photos. So I didn't really feel like I needed journaling. So I decided to pull out my 6x6 pad and see if there was any of these pieces that would fit there that would really kind of go better than the journaling pad. But all of the ones that I had just were not working. I thought maybe the light gray, because it was the one that drew the least amount of attention to the page. Thought about that light blue petite print. I'm pulling out my white petite prints. None of those were the right. I didn't really want to cut into a full sheet of 12 by 12 petite prints for this tiny little corner. Normally, I don't mind cutting into paper. I'm really trying not to be a paper saver, but I just wasn't feeling it. It's like I knew it wasn't going to work. So I literally just dumped everything from my little bucket onto the table. I thought maybe just leaving it without anything there, and actually it could probably be left like that without anything there, maybe a little cluster, and that it would be fine. But I'm going for it. And then I remembered the trick where you could kind of trim down, like you saw me do here. You can trim down a journaling card to make it fit together, kind of fit it together like I did there, to make it look like it has that gray border all the way around. So I went ahead and did that, and I was happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead, just trimming it up. I just ended up trimming off the gray strip, and now I'm going to glue down the big piece and then the gray strip over it so that the gray strip looks like it's just part of it. I am going to come back later on, and when I add my journaling, which I don't do on camera, but I type up my journaling, and instead of doing it on that journaling box, I end up printing it on some white cardstock and then gluing it over that entire journaling box, which comes back to, I could have used that gray petite prints and then just did the same thing. So probably using a petite print there would have been fine, because in either way, I still put my journaling on a box and put it there. But this was already glued down and it was already there. I think I also was kind of thrown off a little bit by that pin. That's why I was trying to cover that up a little bit. So I left it there for now, and I'm going to come back to it, and I'm going to leave this process in. I thought about not recording me gluing down all these hearts, but it was basically the majority of my layout. So I thought, why do a video if I'm not going to record it? So if this is boring for you, then I apologize, but I am going to go glue down. I die cut. I took the scraps from the 6x6 paper pads that I have, and I just cut a bunch of different hearts. I was trying different sizes, different shapes. I didn't really have anything in mind at the time. And I believe the sketch has a bunch of hearts on the left-hand side here. So my hearts don't look the same, but that's where I got the idea from. So I'm just gluing down a bunch of different hearts. And as I was putting those hearts down, okay, first of all, I'm taking the hearts and I am adding some thicker foam adhesive and some thinner foam adhesive and some flat to the page. So there's a whole lot of different dimensions going on and interest on this side. And you can see that even closer in the still shot photos in the end. You'll be able to see what it looks like in person a little bit better than you can on the video probably. So I do apologize also for my camera going in and out. I think these lighter DoodleBug colors kind of is making it hard for it to focus at times, but here's that red tape. The red tape is the thicker tape. I don't know. You guys know I'm not liking this tape, but I used it. This was before. I'm going to use it up. I bought it and I have this roll and another roll, so I'm definitely going to use it up. I'm going to try not to use it in videos, but I'll try to cut out as much as I can if I do. So I took, like I was talking about a minute ago, I just went with my die cutter and I took a bunch of different heart-shaped dies. I will leave a link below to the heart dies. I don't know who is from what company or where I got what. I just put my heart dies all together in one envelope and it works just as fine. I know the larger heart die comes from a Queen & Company, which I'm not sure if it's available anymore, but you can see it also has that outline. I knew it had the outline. I had no intention of using the outline, but that was my biggest heart die. So I went with it so I could still have a larger heart die on her sketch. She does have a larger heart. That is getting too tongue twisting. She has a larger heart die on her sketch, just like I do here. So while I was putting the hearts down, I remembered that I had these DoodleBug sprinkles that coordinate with the collection, and they are so cute. You guys know, I don't even have to go on again about my DoodleBug, but I decided to pull in these little animal heads that you can see there. They're some of the shaped sprinkles that coordinate with this collection, and I've mentioned in another video that I struggle with using just the heads. But when I put that bear down on there, I loved it. I knew immediately that I wanted to incorporate some of these animal heads. And then when I was working with the animal heads, I remembered I had these other little icon-shaped sprinkles that are all baby that really match the background paper, which most of that got covered up. But so I'm incorporating not only the animal heads and a little birdie, I'm incorporating some of the shaped sprinkles in there. And I'm just kind of going around. I think I added a lot more hearts than she had than she had on her sketch, but I made it like fun for me. I was just playing, having fun, making all these hearts go on this side. There are probably more hearts and more shapes than it needs, but that's okay because it's all about the process and having fun. So I was just enjoying. I don't really care for this horse head, but I had the bear head and the giraffe head down below and the elephant head. I just wanted to kind of use them up. And I felt because the bear was brown, I kind of needed one of those brown ones up above too. So I tucked him in the best way that I could. And I was actually happy to get them used up, and I feel like they look really cute on this layout like this. And again, I'm just adding a couple more of the shape sprinkle icons like you can see there. And now I'm just filling in any last little areas. I tried to use some of those darker blue hearts to kind of help it flow. And then here is one of my favorite new products. I will leave a link to these below. I'm so in love with these things. I've been waiting for these since March. Luckily, these came out right before I had to go on my somewhat of a spending freeze. And you can see I didn't waste any time. I got every color. These are the DoodleBug. These are sprinkles, or basically they're enamel shapes, but they come in all of the wonderful DoodleBug colors. So these will match any of your DoodleBug collections. So I am so excited. I've already used them multiple times. So you're going to see those a lot in coming up videos, especially DoodleBug videos. Probably only DoodleBug videos, but who knows. So anyways, that is basically going to be my layout. I am going to try to work on the right-hand side. Like I said, I was thrown off by that gigantic pin. It just seemed out of place there, like it was floating. And it's not going to be long before I realize that I don't like that there, and that's when I decide to type up my journaling, so I give up on that spot. I do add a tiny little cluster above that journaling box, which you will see in the end photos. Then while I was looking for something to put over that, I found some word strips on the 6x6 cut apart sheets, and I thought I would go ahead. Now, this cluster over here on the left side doesn't need these strips at all, these word strips, but I tried them and I thought they were cute. So, and I felt like they added a little bit something more than just the hearts and the enamel shapes. So I am going to pick out 3, and I cut out a third one or a fourth one because that one was blue and all the other ones were white. So I felt like they should all have a white background. So that is pretty much going to be my layout. Here are the still shot photos. You can see all the different dimensions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. And I think that's it. All right, talk to you later. Bye.